And the former nurse, Lucy Letby, has been found guilty of trying to kill a premature baby girl known as Baby K following a retrial.
Last summer, the 34-year-old was convicted by a different jury of the murders of 7 babies and the attempted murder of 6 more at the Countess of Chester Hospital in 2015 and 2016.
Well, our North of England correspondent Judith Moritz joins us now on the sofa. And Judith, everyone will know this is such a distressing case, and I know you've covered every development of it over the last few years. Another emotional day in court yesterday.
Yeah, and not least for the family of the baby involved. I mean, the first thing to say is that this case, you'll remember that we've not been able to identify any of the children, their families, who have been involved both last time in the original trial and now in this retrial. And this retrial involved just one family, and this was a baby who Lucy Letby, we can now say officially because she's been convicted, who she attempted to murder. Now, at the original trial, the jury couldn't decide, and so that's why we've come back for a retrial just on this one charge. Originally, it took the jury a long time to reach their verdict. It was a very long trial the first time round. This time, they were only sent out yesterday morning at 11:30. Before 3 o'clock, they were back. They were unanimous, and when they returned their verdicts, well, Lucy Letby showed no reaction. She was completely impassive. But the baby's family were emotional. And afterwards, outside the court, the police spoke on their behalf because we can't identify the family.
We have had to go through a long, torturous and emotional journey twice. But this justice will not take away the extreme hurt, anger and distress that we've all had to experience. It also does not provide us with an explanation as to why these crimes have taken place. We are heartbroken, devastated, angry and feel numb.
So that's the police speaking on the family's behalf, and in fact investigations are still continuing, aren't they, Judith?
Yeah, Cheshire Police have explained that this is an investigation which has had various stages to it. So we had, as I've just explained, we had the original trial which finished last year, and then the police immediately said, look, we're going to now look at the whole footprint, that's how they described it, the whole footprint of Lucy Letby's career from 2012, because this trial only involved a baby who was murdered, who she attempted to murder, I should say, in 2016. Last time it was a very narrow time window, 2015 to 2016. The police have expanded now looking, and they are looking at cases of 4,000 babies. Now, that doesn't mean they're investigating that there could be criminality every time, but they're going to review all of the babies and then from that see where that takes them. And there'll also be a public inquiry as well, I should say, so this is not the end of the process.
It is a massive and really complex case, isn't it?
Complicated, technically, medically. A lot of the evidence in this was based around the science, the medical evidence of each of these babies, because you'll understand that these were very premature and sick babies in many cases in the neonatal unit. They weren't babies born at full term in good health. And so we've spent a long time in court, both at the original trial and again with this case, listening to that evidence. Yeah, very complicated.
And we know, don't we, that Lucy Letby is serving multiple life sentences. Why is it important for the families, I suppose, that any more cases might be brought to court?
Well, and that's also a question that I've been asked about why we've just had a retrial. I think this is about these families finding the truth of what happened. Lucy Letby has maintained throughout that she's innocent. She gave evidence at both trials. She said this time, I'm not guilty of the crimes I've been convicted of. For the families, they left that hospital believing that their babies had been harmed or had died tragically through natural causes. And then one day the police came knocking on the door and said, actually, that's not what we think happened. And they've had this journey, you just heard in that clip there, that they've described as torturous. They're going through the process of finding out what happened to their children.
And Letby herself, and there were times during the original trial when she didn't show up in court. She refused to attend, but she was there yesterday.
Yeah, that happened at the end of the last trial when she was being sentenced. When the verdicts were being given and when she was being sentenced, she didn't come to court. This time she was there. She was there through the evidence, and she was there yesterday when the verdict was delivered. And as I say, she didn't show any emotion. Now, she's going to be sentenced on Friday morning, and the judge told her she's expected to be there. We'll see.
Judith, thank you very much indeed. Judith Moritz, who's followed that case from the start.